Alright, let's get into this. Because honestly, I tried. I really tried to give it time. I tried to let a couple of days go by so I could cool off, breathe, maybe find a more level-headed way to talk about what we saw. But sometimes, man, it doesn't matter how many deep breaths you take. Some things hit you right in the gut, and you can't just brush it off. That Cowboys-Panthers game. Yeah, it had a few of those moments. But one in particular? That one had me damn near clenching my fists, biting my tongue, because I felt real, actual anger, not the kind of frustration you get when your team fumbles a drive. I'm talking about that deep disappointment that makes you question how seriously some of these guys are taking this thing. And look, if you're a Cowboys player, a family member, or someone close to the team, you might want to step away now. Because this isn't sugar-coated. This isn't about babying grown men who get paid millions to perform on Sundays. What I saw, and more importantly, how it was reacted to, was something I can't ignore. And if you're a real fan of this game, if you care about what this team represents, you probably felt the same thing I did. You know the image I'm talking about. It made its way all over social media during and after that game. Rico Dowdle had a lane wide enough to land a plane through. And when I say wide, I'm not exaggerating. The offensive line opened it up like Moses parting the Red Sea. But that wasn't the part that made my blood boil. No, the real issue was who was getting bulldozed on the other end of that play. It was Sam Williams. And I'm not here to question his athletic ability. The guy's a physical freak. But when it comes to football IQ, discipline, and mentality, we've got to talk. Because what happened on that play wasn't just getting beat. It was being dominated. It was getting buried by a wide receiver. Xavier Legette, who, by the way, is out there catching passes, not blowing up edge rushers, completely manhandled Sam. He put him in the dirt like he was a blocking sled. And no, this isn't one of those moments where you can say, oh, maybe he just got caught out of position. That excuse dies the second you watch the film. Go back and look at it. Sam started out lined up as a left defensive end. That's your edge guy. That's someone whose responsibility is contain, pressure, disruption. And within seconds of the snap, he's being pushed across the entire width of the field, 6, maybe 7 yards off where he should be, by a wide receiver. That's not a fluke. That's not getting too deep. That's a complete lack of awareness. He took the inside bait, had no recognition of the play developing, and made it laughably easy for the blocker to neutralize him. And I say laughably, because apparently, Sam found it funny too. That's where things go from disappointing to infuriating. Because not only did he get embarrassed on the field, he went online and laughed about it. A laughing emoji. In response to people breaking down that moment, pointing out the clear failure, he decided to act like it was a joke. Let that sink in. While fans were fuming, some damn near in tears over how soft this defense looked, Sam was chuckling. On social media. Publicly. And this ain't some doctored screenshot or out-of-context moment. This was a post he made. On his own. October 14th. It's still up as of the 16th. He stood on it, doubled down, and even after getting cooked in the replies and quote tweets, he left it there. No explanation. No accountability. Just vibes and emojis. You want to know why that matters? Because this team is trying to build something. Or at least they claim they are. This coaching staff has said, over and over again, that they're looking for guys who love football, who are high character, who put in the work and live the grind. That's the whole identity they're selling. So when one of your rotational pass rushers, someone fighting for a contract, someone who should be hungrier than ever, is out here treating his own embarrassing moment like it's content for a meme page, how are we supposed to buy into this culture talk? And let's not act like this is an isolated moment. This goes back, way back. Remember that Cowboys victory party he and Cavani Turpin were promoting? That was before a damn playoff game, before they had even stepped on the field. That party was scheduled after the Packers' wild card game. Confidence is one thing, but celebrating before you've even earned it? That's a red flag. That's a mindset issue. So here's the problem. Sam Williams clearly loves the lifestyle. He loves what football brings him. The money, the status, the parties, the followers. But does he love the game? That's the question. Does he care enough to take this seriously? Because when you laugh at a moment like that, when you post through your own poor performance, it doesn't say, I'm self-aware. It says, I don't care. And that's a dangerous kind of energy to have in your locker room. I don't care if you think the film breakdowns on Twitter are off. I don't care if someone took a still image and missed some nuance. At the end of the day, You got put on your ass by a wide receiver. You lost your edge. You ended up on the wrong side of the play. That's the reality. So laughing at it, that's not being tough. That's not being above the noise. That's being unserious. And if you're a Cowboys fan, that stings. Because y'all invest time. Y'all invest money, energy. You rearrange your Sundays for this team. And even though we know, deep down, we can't expect consistent success, we at least expect effort. We expect guys to care, to be pissed off after a bad game, to show they want to be better. So when someone on the team, someone who contributed to that failure, decides to joke about it, it's a slap in the face. There's supposed to be a standard here. A standard of accountability, of pride. You're not going to win every game. But if you're laughing after getting cooked by a wideout, and fans care more than you do, that's where the culture breaks down. That's where the disconnect begins. And listen, I'm not saying Sam Williams is beyond redemption. But what I am saying is, he better wake up. This ain't college. This ain't about just looking the part. You either produce or you become expendable. Because right now, Cowboys fans are questioning whether he even wants it, whether he's the right fit, whether he respects the jersey he puts on every week. And until he proves otherwise, those questions are going to get louder. And the thing is, this isn't just about one blown play or a bad reaction on social media. It's bigger than that. It's about what that moment represents. Because when you take the field for the Dallas Cowboys, you're not just out there playing a game. You're representing a legacy. You're wearing one of the most iconic jerseys in all of sports. And with that comes a level of scrutiny, of expectation, of pride, that not everyone is built to handle. So when a guy like Sam Williams gets pushed around like that, and then turns around and mocks the reaction from fans, from analysts, from anyone who gives a damn, it tells you everything you need to know about where his head is at. This is a guy who's been given an opportunity that millions of people would kill for. And it's like he doesn't even realize what's at stake. He's not a rookie anymore. This is his contract year. This is supposed to be the moment where everything clicks, where he puts it all together, shows the coaching staff he's worth investing in long term. But instead of rising to the occasion, he's out here showing us he's not even taking the occasion seriously. He's showing us that all the talk about earning a bigger role, earning that next contract, it might have just been talk. When you line up on Sunday and get buried by a wide receiver, and then laugh about it on social media like you're watching a blooper reel, that's not just unprofessional. That's disrespectful to your teammates, to your coaches, to the fans, and most of all, to yourself. Because deep down, somewhere in there, there has to be a player who wants more than this. Who wants to be great. Who wants to be remembered for something other than getting tossed around on a running play like he didn't even belong on the field. But how are we supposed to believe that guy exists when all we see is the clown version? The dude who laughs off his mistakes. The dude who hosts parties before games are even played. The dude who seems more interested in jerseys and celebrations than film study and production. That's what hurts the most. The potential is there. That's what makes it all so frustrating. Because no one's questioning his athleticism. Sam Williams has all the tools. That's not the issue. It's what he does with them. It's whether he values this game enough to actually sharpen those tools. Whether he's willing to sacrifice, to lock in, to get serious. Because if not, he'll just be another what if. Another name on a long list of guys who flashed, fizzled, and faded out. You talk to fans, real fans, and they'll tell you they don't expect perfection. They don't expect every guy to be Micah Parsons. But they expect effort. They expect accountability. They expect pride. What they don't expect, and won't tolerate, is a player laughing while the defense is getting humiliated. That's the kind of energy that kills locker rooms. That's the kind of mentality that spreads like a virus. Because if one guy can laugh, why can't another? And before you know it, you've got an entire defense that's cool with being mediocre. That's the danger. That's how cultures rot from the inside out. And let's be honest, there's already been enough cracks in this Cowboys defense to raise some alarms. The way they've looked against the run, the missed assignments, the lack of physicality up front, those are already problems. So when a moment like this happens, and instead of reflecting and responding like a professional, a player turns it into a joke, that sends the wrong message. It says losing doesn't hurt. It says getting embarrassed doesn't sting. It says maybe, just maybe, some of these guys are more comfortable being Cowboys than they are being competitors. That's not the standard this team claims to uphold. That's not the identity they've been preaching since the offseason. And if guys like Sam Williams aren't going to buy in, If they're not going to take every rep seriously, every mistake personally, then maybe they're not the right pieces. Because the truth is, talent only gets you so far. This league is full of freak athletes. What separates the good from the great, the roster fillers from the cornerstones, is mindset. It's accountability. It's hunger. And right now, Sam looks like a guy who's more full than hungry, more interested in flexing than fixing, more invested in perception than performance. And if that doesn't change, soon, he's going to find out just how fast the league moves on from players who don't match their potential with professionalism. Look around this locker room. You've got veterans fighting to squeeze every last drop out of their careers. You've got young guys grinding every day trying to earn reps, earn contracts, earn respect. So when one guy who hasn't even arrived yet, decides to coast, that's a problem. Because that mentality is contagious. It affects preparation, it affects attitude, it affects the way a team responds to adversity. And right now, the Cowboys are not a team that can afford to coast. Not with the kind of schedule they're facing. Not with the kind of expectations this fan base has. Not with the kind of pressure that comes with wearing that star on your helmet. So yeah, I'm mad. And I know a lot of fans are mad too. Because we've seen this story before. The guy with all the upside, who thinks he's already made it. The guy who wants all the shine, but none of the grind. And every time, it ends the same way. Out of the league. Forgotten. Another cautionary tale. Sam still has time to flip the script. But the clock is ticking. And right now, he's not doing himself any favors. This isn't about hate. This is about standards. About wanting more. Demanding more. From the team. From the players. From the culture. And if Sam Williams wants to be part of that future, he's going to have to do a whole lot more than just flash athleticism. He's going to have to show that he gets it. That he's not okay with being a punchline. That he's not okay with being the guy on film that every offensive coordinator circles with a red marker. Because that's what this league is. It's a Shark Tank. Every week, you either eat or get eaten. And if opposing coaches are seeing that film and seeing a defensive end who bites on every fake, who gets washed out by wide receivers, who doesn't diagnose plays, who laughs off breakdowns, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to target him. They're going to attack him. They're going to scheme right at him because he's not a threat. He's a liability. And that's how you end up on the bench. Or worse, on the waiver wire. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. Whispers are swirling around the NFL, and if the latest buzz proves true, the Dallas Cowboys might be on the verge of one of the most talked about roster moves of the season. According to insider chatter, the Cowboys have reportedly secured Derrick Henry, the Tennessee Titans powerhouse running back known for his punishing runs and ability to wear down defenses. If this deal goes through, Dallas would instantly boast one of the most formidable backfields in the league. Henry, often dubbed King Henry, for his combination of size, speed, and breakaway ability, has dominated defenses for years. His signature style, bulldozing through linebackers and creating explosive plays out of seemingly nothing, would pair intriguingly with the Cowboys' current offensive setup. Speculation is rife that this move could signal a shift in Dallas's strategy, leaning more heavily on a bruising, run-first approach to complement their passing attack. The Cowboys already have a promising backfield, and adding Henry would create nightmares for opposing defenses. Imagine the matchup headaches for NFC rivals, a veteran backfield with one of the most physically imposing backs in the league, capable of pounding the line in short yardage situations while also breaking free for highlight reel runs. Rumors suggest that the team sees this as a championship-caliber upgrade, not just a flashy addition. Analysts are buzzing about how this combination could redefine the Cowboys' offensive identity in the upcoming season. Of course, nothing is official yet, and insiders caution that negotiations could still shift. Questions remain about contract details, long-term plans, and how Henry's heavy workload in Tennessee might factor into his durability in Dallas. Still, the mere prospect of Henry in a Cowboys uniform has ignited social media, fan forums, and sports talk shows alike. Imagine the synergy between him and the team's young receivers, along with Dak Prescott at quarterback. There's speculation this could be a backfield designed to dominate both time of possession and highlight reels alike. As the rumor mill churns, fans are already dreaming. Could this be the move that pushes Dallas over the top? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The Cowboys' potential acquisition of Derrick Henry has already set the NFL world abuzz. Stay tuned, because if this deal materializes, the league may be in for a season defined by sheer power, speed, and the kind of offensive fireworks only a backfield of this caliber could produce. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.